Welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, this is how I protect my peas and beans from the mice. We got the supports up in the greenhouse, and also coming up in this video we've got sowing of the beetroot microgreens in the square foot gardening. See how they do. A vegetable harvest from carrots, parsnips, celeriac and some potatoes, and the cucumber that we sliced up and overwintered in a tub. We've got to have a look in there, see if there's anything there. So we've got the gutters at the ready. They haven't got the seal in the end cap, so the water is free draining. There's no holes in the bottom of these. These seeds are from Kelly's kitchen garden. They're like a sugar pod and like a mange tout pea. So we'll get these sowed shortly. So thank you to Kelly. Pop and see her channel. We've got some of Bill and Val's Kent Blue and Knee Plus Ultra. They're going in these, and I've soaked half of them overnight, and we'll see if it makes any difference than putting them into the wet compost. We've also got the beans chitting away and some sweet corn. We'll have a look at those later. These are my peas. I did find them, the mice didn't. Now they're either Hurst, Green Shaft or an Alderman. I'm not quite sure on those, but I was very short of peas, and John, a local viewer subscriber, came to my aid and sorted out a few peas that he got spare, because the allotment shop and some of the shops are shut. I wasn't able to get the peas that I wanted. And there's another one there. They're the Telegraph. They're 6 foot plus, he thinks. We're not bothered. We'll just take it. They'll go 6 foot high, and it won't matter because the raspberry canes that we cut off last year, or last year's raspberries, are getting on near for that anyway. And bless her, she actually photocopied the cover so that we had got all the information. And it'd be nice to get all these in, and I won't be eating them all. If I like them, then I will be saving the bulk of them. Very random. They'll get covered over now with my own seed compost. Now when you do put them in the gutters, you will find that the peas will push the compost up. Just keep giving them a good water. And as long as the water runs out the ends, they'll be absolutely fine. Let's put that at that end. I shan't bore you with the rest. I'll just bring you back afterwards when they're all done. So that's them all in and covered up. We've got a few seeds left that John dropped me off, and I've got a few of mine as well. So we could always do a second sowing if I've got space. Not sure this year because I'm just bunging everything in quite quickly, because we don't know what's going to happen. And there's the last two of my rocket seed spuds, and they're going on the vertical garden once I've got it built. So I've got these microgreens, the beetroots, and I tried mixing them with the others, but they're a little bit slow growing, so I'm going to do a little experiment to see whether I can direct sow here. And it looks like that's not going to fit this time, because I haven't got my dimensions right. I did it all at home. Should have checked all the squares. So just they come in these nice little seal packets. A full 100 grams is £3.50 on average. And even when you spread them really thickly, it doesn't look like you've actually used many. And what I'm going to do on the back side, oh, nearly, no. I'm going to see whether they actually reach maturity. I've just dropped one in there, so I'll put 2 seeds in each one, but as you know, we always seem to get multiples. And I'll get those some pieces of glass on that, and use my homemade compost to cover these up. I think I'm better off just doing guesswork. Just make myself a little smaller, half-size one, then I can get into all the nooks and crannies. Just give that a little tickle. I've used some clover seed and modular on the top of these beds, and I've had a few weeds come through. Now they could be from underneath, or the compost hasn't been sterilised properly, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. So that's a little experiment. I need 2 labels before I finish. So these are the what we're going to be putting the beans in eventually once they've chitted. I'm going to put my homemade seed and potting up compost in there, even in the gaps, so it keeps it moist. I was going to put them onto here, but I'm not sure that this is going to be strong enough, so I'll probably take those back home or leave them on here with a few mouse traps about. They don't normally touch them once they've chitted. So let's have a little look in here to see what beans we're going to be growing. So there we are, the regular Cobra French beans at the back. These are the Blue Lake French beans from Tony at the Little Farmer's Farm, Guru Mafinda. These are the ones that I won on Keep Calm and Make Compost, our Facebook group. Scarlet, Liberty. These here that are randomly spaced out are the Benchmaster. Never been able to get them to chit. These are Bill and Val's Pomgo French beans, and they're a bush variety, not a climbing. Again, Little Farmer's Farm, Tony again, Guru Mafinda, some purple beans. So looking forward to growing those, and the Pomgo and some of the others I'll be growing in the buckets, vertical gardening. And the sweet corn, I think I can get 30 plants into one of my raised beds. So we've got some from last year, Swift F1, and then we've got the Incredible F1. So I'm thinking 30 plants into one of these beds. So it works out 9 inches apart, 16 inches apart, sorry. We should be able to get 3 that way, and then enough that way to get to 27, I think it was. So I've done more than I need, just in case some of them don't chit. Right, so we're onto the cucumber, and I've just had to play about with my tripod. They just fell out on one of the legs, and I've had to use a cable tie to stop you from falling over. So these are the ones that I sliced up over the winter with the tomatoes, and I'm just going to scrape the top off. I haven't touched this before. Oh, there is signs of something, but it looks like the mice may have had those. But the only way to really find out take some of this off the top. Yeah, it just does very much so look like the mice have had those. Maybe one or two. They might have rotted off. So we'll take this now and pop it into the grow room, give it a bit of a water. There's nothing in those. But something I've got to follow through, and maybe there's one or two in there that survived. So this is the carrot bed from last year, and we've got one there that's forked. And this is where I've dumped the parsnips in. It's like a bit of a lucky dip. It's still solid. Got a few forked this end for some reason. Still solid, and we've still got signs of the vine weevil. But there's enough carrot there to help us, and I must get this bed cleared and prepared. All this material on the top layer is coming out so that prepare it for the tomatoes. So there's not many carrots left now. A few parsnips started to go soft, but they're always nice when they're steamed. I lifted these slabs up here so I could use around the allotment, and it looks like I've got a bumblebee busily making a home. I'll bring you back to that when there's a little bit more activity. So, potato reveal. This is my Sarpo own seed, the ones that I had in the seed pods. I grew them from seed. These are on the 3rd or 4th year now. They're just started to sprout now, started to grow, so let's get these out and have a look, see if there's any viable that we can plant with the rest this year. That's not brilliant for three seed potatoes, but that's why I'm considering planting them in the ground this time. So have a little close up, and as you can see, some of them are really trying to get going. So I shan't touch any of those. I shall pick probably the best, which are probably going to be these, and the granddaughter. I'll love those steamed. So I've got 2 celeriacs left. Probably not brilliant now, but always good for a meal. So, ooh, crashed, and I've crashed into the carrots, and I've got to reveal them sometime. But yeah, the tripod's the second tier, but that's worked well, nice and tight, and it just slides up and down. So that's the harvest from the 2019, not too bad at all. I'm hoping to have parsnips still in the ground this time next year, and carrots, but outside where they're not too dry. And I've opened 4 buckets up, and I've managed to find myself half a dozen Sarpos that are a decent size, and looks like they've got a good strain in them, and they'll be planted with the rest of my seed potatoes. And as always, you've seen some of my videos. This is now the compost, my compost mix 12 months on. You've seen me mix my new mix. Got a few pebbles in. But this is lovely material to add back into that bin, ready for future use. I've just moved that big pot out the way because this bumblebee seems to be blocking up that hole. Maybe he's going to use that hole, so I've got to monitor this. This is right outside the door, so I'll see what he's up to, see where he's going, and we'll make sure that that bumblebee can get in and out with all its babies later on in the year. We'll keep you posted on that one. Well, I can't let this go, can I? Let's get that planted. See what happens. What we have over here, one of the little baubles, and there's another one there you might not be able to see, but they're now coming through. So I'm pleased with that. They're the little bits that grow on the bottom of the garlic. If you've liked the content of this video, then please consider subscribing. Don't forget to hit that like button. And don't forget the comments. We love the comments. There's lots going on, and I've got to get as much done as I can, just in case the lockdown gets even worse, which hopefully not. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.